Shameful Jeremy Clarkson has apologized for his sickening Meghan Markle remarks but then added more fuel to the fire, and his strange obsession with Prince Harry's wife goes back years. Jeremy Clarkson has been slammed for his most recent sickening comments about Meghan Markle, but his strange obsession with her actually goes back many years. In an abhorrent rant, the former Top Gear host wrote that he hated the former Suits actress on a cellular level and wanted to see her paraded naked through the streets. Clarkson's misogynistic column was taken down after it received a fierce backlash, prompting him to send an apologies email on Christmas Day, saying he was really sorry all the way from the balls of my feet to the follicles on my head. The Sussexes responded by stating that the email was only sent to Prince Harry and blasted him for not addressing his long-standing pattern of writing articles that spread hate rhetoric, dangerous conspiracy theories, and misogyny. Here is a look at where Clarkson's attacks on Meghan first began before leading up to his latest shameful scandal. Clarkson defends Meghan. Clarkson is only now seeing the repercussions of his vile comments towards Meghan, but it's been going on for years. And just like his pal Piers Morgan, it seems Clarkson was actually a fan of the Duchess of Sussex at the beginning. In a Sun column written in December 2018, Clarkson said Meghan had been a breath of fresh air for the royals, but went on to say she had become the Wicked Witch. He even said the line that would be reused again years later, stating, "At this rate, it won't be long before she is stripped and forced to walk naked through the streets of York while people with skin diseases chant shame and throw excrement at her." But Clarkson actually went on to defend Meghan, saying he doesn't know her and couldn't understand why she was being mocked. "As a result, she will have less impact on your life than your postman's wife," he wrote. "It's ridiculous, cruel and heartless, and unless she proves me wrong by going around at night urinating on homeless people, it needs to stop." When Meghan and Harry announced their decision to stop being working royals, Clarkson said it may have come as a surprise to Meghan that life as a British royal ended wasn't all fairy tale castles and riding around on golden unicorns. But he said he felt it was unfair to blame her, writing, "I won't judge her for that. People are allowed to resign from jobs they don't like." The nasty obsession begins. It didn't last, as Clarkson went back on his own words. In February 2020, the presenter told Meghan to get a grip after she emotionally said no one had really asked her if she was okay during an ITV documentary. Speaking to GQ after winning the GQ Car Awards Lifetime Achievement Award, Clarkson said Meghan should toughen up. Asked if he cries often, he responded, "Everybody cries. Everybody cried when Princess Diana was buried. But I mean, as a general rule, you've got to get a grip." I think the expression "get a grip" needs to come back into the lexicon as soon as possible. Everybody needs to get a grip. Meghan Markle. Just get a grip. In March 2021, Clarkson branded Meghan a silly little cable TV actress and accused her of simpering victimhood in a full-on attack. Weighing in on the debate surrounding the Oprah Winfrey interview and Piers Morgan's response, Clarkson wrote in The Sun, "Yes, she is much revered by the young and the stupid who believe that her brand of simpering victimhood will one day bring down the monarchy, but it won't." He stated that the monarchy had survived beheadings, executions and affairs, so would be able to weather the banal musings of a silly little cable TV actress. He added, "Trust me on this one. Markle's toast, and within 5 years, I suspect she'll be posing for photographs, on her own outside the Taj Mahal or sitting on the back of a Playboy's yacht in the Med, and poor old Piers will realize that he lost his job over absolutely nothing at all." Clarkson's sickening remarks. In his most foul rant yet, Clarkson wrote a column in December in which he claimed to hate Meghan on a cellular level and wanted her to be paraded naked through the streets. The television presenter said that he dreams of people throwing lumps of excrement at her in the insensitive spew of hatred towards Meghan. This came in response to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan, in which they told their side of the story after leaving the UK and royal life. In his column for The Sun, Jeremy said how he felt sorry for Harry, that he is being controlled by his wife, and called the royal a glove puppet. At night, I'm unable to sleep as I lie there, grinding my teeth and dreaming of the day when she is made to parade naked through the streets of every town in Britain while the crowds chant, "Shame," and throw lumps of excrement at her, he shockingly wrote. Clarkson's downfall. While Clarkson claimed everyone his age agreed with him about Meghan, there was a very different response from the public. Furious people called for him to be sacked, and a cross-party group of more than 60 MPs demanded action against him for language that has no place in our country. In a letter to the editor of The Sun, chairwoman of the Women and Equalities Select Committee, Caroline Noakes, said, "We are horrified at the recent article by Jeremy Clarkson in your publication." Ms. Noakes condemned in the strongest terms the violent, misogynistic language used against the Duchess of Sussex and said, "We cannot allow this type of behavior to go unchecked any longer." Even Clarkson's own daughter turned on him, saying she stands against everything he said about Meghan. Emily Clarkson wrote, "My views are and have always been clear when it comes to misogyny, bullying and the treatment of women by the media. I want to make it very clear that I stand against everything that my dad wrote about Meghan Markle, and I remain standing in support of those that are targeted with online hatred." The presenter initially addressed huge backlash to his column, including MPs calling for ITV to sack the TV star, on Twitter on December 19 and told his followers, "Oh dear. I'd rather put my foot in it. In a column I wrote about Meghan, I made a clumsy reference to a scene in Game of Thrones, and this has gone down badly with a great many people. I'm horrified to have caused so much hurt, and I shall be more careful in future." Prince Harry's horror. During Prince Harry's ITV interview to discuss his highly anticipated autobiography, Spare, the Duke of Sussex revealed his horror at Clarkson's nasty remarks. "When we're talking about accountability, just recently, which I know you know about, the Jeremy Clarkson article," Harry told presenter Tom Bradby. "So not only did what he said was horrific and is hurtful and cruel towards my wife, but it also encourages other people around the UK and around the world, men particularly, to go and think that it's acceptable to treat women that way." He then added, "To use my stepmother's words recently as well, there is a global pandemic of violence against women." Before Clarkson's apology was made public, a spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex shared a statement with PA on Christmas Eve. It read, "The fact that The Sun has not contacted the Duchess of Sussex to apologize shows their intent. This is nothing more than a PR stunt. While the public absolutely deserves the publication's regrets for their dangerous comments, we wouldn't be in this situation if The Sun did not continue to profit off of and exploit hate, violence and misogyny. A true apology would be a shift in their coverage and ethical standards for all. Unfortunately, we're not holding our breath." Clarkson's full apology. In a lengthy statement on his verified Instagram account on Monday, Clarkson said he emailed the couple on Christmas Day to say his language in the column had been disgraceful and he was profoundly sorry. He said, "One of the strange things I've noticed in recent times is that whenever an MP or a well-known person is asked to apologize for something, no matter how heartfelt or profound that apology may be, it's never enough for the people who called for it in the first place. So I'm going to try and buck the trend this morning with an apology for the things I said in a Sun column recently about Meghan Markle. I really am sorry. All the way from the balls of my feet to the follicles on my head. This is me putting my hands up. It's a mea culpa with bells on. Usually, I read what I've written to someone else before filing, but I was home alone on that fateful day, and in a hurry. So when I'd finished, I just pressed send. And then, when the column appeared the next day, the landmine exploded. It was a slow rumble to start with and I ignored it. But then the rumble got louder. so I picked up a copy of The Sun to see what all the fuss was about. We've all been there, I guess. In that precise moment when we suddenly realize we've completely messed up. You are sweaty and cold at the same time. And your head pounds. And you feel sick. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Had I really said that? It was horrible. I knew what had happened straight away. I'd been thinking of a scene in Games of Thrones, but I'd forgotten to mention this. So it looked like I was actually calling for revolting violence to rain down on Meghan's head. I was very angry with myself because in all those controversial days on Top Gear, when I was accused of all sorts of things, it was very rarely sexism. We never did women can't park gags, for instance. Or suggested that powerful cars were only for men. And I was thrilled when Jodie Kidd and Ellen MacArthur set fastest ever laps in our reasonably priced car. I'm just not sexist and I abhor violence against women. And yet I seem to be advocating just that. I was mortified and so was everyone else. My phone went mad. Very close friends were furious. Even my own daughter took to Instagram to denounce me. He continued to write, The Sun quickly apologized, and I tried to explain myself. But still, there were calls for me to be sacked and charged with a hate crime. More than 60 MPs demanded action to be taken. ITV, who make Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Amazon, who make The Farm Show and Grand Tour, were incandescent. I therefore wrote to everyone who works with me saying how sorry I was, and then on Christmas morning, I emailed Harry and Meghan in California to apologize to them too. He goes on, I said I was baffled by what they had been saying on TV, but that the language I'd used in my column was disgraceful and that I was profoundly sorry. Over the last 30 years, I have written nearly 5,000 newspaper and magazine columns, so it was inevitable that one day, I'd do a Harry Kane and Sky one of the damn things. Which is what happened with the piece about Meghan. Clarkson concludes by saying, so can I move on now? Not sure. It's hard to be interesting and vigilant at the same time. You never hear pearls of laughter coming from a health and safety seminar. But I promise you this, I will try. Who knows? Very soon now I shall be a grandfather, so in the future, maybe I'll just write about that. The Sussexes respond. Meghan and Harry issued a response on Monday night to Clarkson's claim that he emailed both of them on Christmas Day. They pointed out that the TV presenter only addressed his apology to Harry, even though his most vile comments were made towards Meghan. A joint statement issued on behalf of the couple reads, on December 25, 2022, Mr. Clarkson wrote solely to Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. While a new public apology has been issued today by Mr. Clarkson, what remained to be addressed is his long-standing pattern of writing articles that spread hate rhetoric, dangerous conspiracy theory. Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.